Egypt is claiming that the dam would reduce the flow of the water, Nile water, for the downstream countries. But Ethiopia has been explaining as it doesn't have any impact or negative impact on the downstream countries. So why this trouble in Egypt? Because Ethiopia is explaining as it has no impact on downstream countries. But Egypt is still claiming. Why is this?
It is baseless, actually. Egypt would have been fearful. We shouldn't have been even suspicious over Ethiopia's, assertion. The Ethiopian government frequently asserted, frequently explained, frequently told them, we have expertise, we have engineers, well-known engineers. Even the minister, the water resource minister, is a well-known hydraulic engineer. I mean, he knows it very well. We have a lot of expertise, and research is done, and they know the truth. The problem is not knowing the truth. The problem is because they insisted on being right. Because they started earlier that by opposing Ethiopia's stand, they wanted to continue on that. I think they're insisting and being stubborn on their stand is not really, it doesn't sound okay with even the relationship between the two countries as well. Even in the, when it is viewed in the international community, it's not acceptable actually. Ethiopia has expressed very well, and I think it's not important from now on, because I can say this is white, and you say it's black, and I say white, you say black, and what would I say then? You say it's black, but it's white. So how can we agree on this? So the situation of Egypt and Ethiopia is this now. Ethiopia is telling that the real color of this mask, and Egypt is denying that. So it's really hard. I mean, that is, it's really difficult to define, I mean, what they really want. And I wish Egyptians clearly tell us that, one, either they don't want Ethiopia's growth, or they want to only benefit from the water, or that they are selfish. I don't know. I mean, you can't tell me whether their stand is this or that. I mean, only Egyptians know that. But as far as I know, the Ethiopian government has clearly explained it. Why the river is, I mean, the dam is built and its benefit, even it is potential benefit for Egyptians and even Sudanese, let alone even building the dam and benefiting its own people. And it has its own advantage. Even after building the dam, Ethiopia would export even electricity to Sudan and Egypt. And what should the government say then? What should Ethiopia say then? That shouldn't be actually.
Well, Ethiopia's plan to hold the filling of water operation in the coming July or the Ethiopian summer season, but Egypt has been appealing to the UN Council so as to push Ethiopia in stopping the filling operation. In the same move, Minister of Water and Energy and Irrigation, Dr. Injan Shibakala, said no force can stop Ethiopia from filling the water as per the schedule provided for it. What's your comment here?
I think Ethiopia is a sovereign country. It has its own government, it has its own water minister, it has its own prime minister, it has its own planning minister. It is financed by its own people. I mean, my tax, your tax, and everybody's tax. So what is the role of Egyptians in Ethiopian economy? What is their role in deciding our fate? What is that? If the issue of Nile should be treated, it should be treated according to international law. The laws that worked for America and Mexico should work for Ethiopia and Egypt. The laws that worked for Uruguay and Argentina should apply here also, if that is the case. And I'm sure that the UN Security Council knows the truth very well. It's very clear. And Dr. Engineer Sleshi Bekele said, perfect. I mean, if I were in his position, I wouldn't say any different thing. Can't agree more. So that's inevitable. So the pressure from different direction is baseless, as I told you before. Again, if Egyptians still insist on, pressurizing Ethiopia from doing what they planned, and I don't know what the international community is still saying about that, including America or the Security Council or whatever. Ethiopia is a sovereign state who can do its own plan by itself, by its own government. And I elect my government to do all the things that are needed for my country. And that's why they are there, right? So they do their job. So Engineer Seleshi Bekele is doing his job. His job is, letting the dam, the filling of the dam start. And he's doing his job, and he's planning, and he's doing his job. That's it. So the rest is, there could be an opposition from Egyptians. So can you tell me the time when the Ethiopian government appealed to the UN Security Council to accuse Egypt from constructing a dam over Nile River or using it? So why would Egypt accuse Ethiopia from using its own resources? I don't think we need a permission from them. I don't think.
Ethiopia has now left the trilateral negotiation being held in the Washington, D.C. Do you think that the dispute can be solved through the involvement of international countries like USA, America, or Russia, or any other?
First of all, did Ethiopia ask America or the World Bank to negotiate the three countries?
But
Egypt asked it. Yeah. Ethiopia should at the same time ask. It's not Egypt who decides who should lead the negotiation. It is in consultation with Ethiopia. If Ethiopia agrees on that, yes, America and the World Bank can lead the negotiation. If Ethiopia says no, it's not Ethiopia that dictates Ethiopia what to do. It is Ethiopia that knows what to do. As long as Egypt can claim, Ethiopia shouldn't, can claim and oppose the construction of the dam or the filing of the dam. She can do. But she cannot force Ethiopia from doing whatever she planned, as long as Ethiopia is not harming Egypt. So Ethiopia has all the rights to assign or to agree on who should lead the negotiation, who should not be in the observation as well. Not even the negotiation, even the observation. If Ethiopia says, I don't want the World Bank in the observership, yes, it's Ethiopia's interest, it's not Egypt's interest. And then the outcome of that, first we were told that it was observation, and the three countries would lead the negotiation. And finally, there was a warning from the Treasury Department that Ethiopia should never do that. Ethiopia said no. And how would the government of America say Ethiopia to stop filling the dam? It wouldn't be. America already knows that it's, Ethiopia's interest. Perhaps Donald Trump also didn't say anything that opposes, and even he said literally to come and even inaugurate a dam, right? So it's ridiculous, actually. Even if the negotiation continues, and if it is Egyptians' interest is to continue the negotiation, and if Ethiopia also agrees, if Ethiopia agrees only, they together can choose someone who they both trust to come and bring them on table and hold the negotiation again. Otherwise, Ethiopia would not be forced to sign what they propose. Ethiopia cannot sign the Egyptians' proposal, perhaps, because Ethiopia is a sovereign country again.
Ethiopians have a strong feeling as the dam is their symbol for their national sovereignty, whereas the Egyptians has a saying, Nile is our life. Is there any way that can satisfy the need of both countries at the same time?
Yeah, there is. They should be on utmost good faith. Both countries should be on utmost good faith, and Egypt shouldn't be suspicious on Ethiopia's stand, and Ethiopia shouldn't also violate Egyptians' interest. We understand, yes, it is their life. Indeed, it is their life. One of the most renowned world civilizations started there at the Nile River Valley. So it's not a recent phenomena. Egyptians have a very strong tie with Nile River. So we are not denying that. We are not going to, retain the river here. We are not doing that. We are telling them that we are going to build a dam give electricity to every household, and then export it to other neighboring African countries, even to Egypt, and also engage on farming activities and feed our people. That's it. Still, doing all these things wouldn't mean to destroy the fate of Nile and the fate of Egyptians. Still, they gain the same amount of the river and all year long without any significant change, as Ethiopian government is frequently asserting. So for the both countries, without compromising one another's benefit, it's good to come on table and be at most good faith, hold a discussion and negotiate without pressurizing one another, without accusing one another, without even involving any other countries, without even pressurizing Ethiopia through other forces. That shouldn't be. We have to leverage, and the leverage should be there. Even Egyptians should claim that would Ethiopia sell electrical power to Egypt if they have energy interest. That would be even a gluing factor for both countries. At least Ethiopia is selling electricity to Egypt. Even agricultural products could be exported to Egypt after the dam is constructed and agricultural products are being cultivated. All this could be done.
Well, Sudan has been showing great interest in solving the dispute or disagreement via peaceful negotiations between the both countries. In general, what would be the future fate of the dam and diplomatic and other relationship among the neighboring countries?
Well, between Egypt and Ethiopia, there is Sudan. So for Sudan, it is very tough. It's just being. Sudan couldn't choose between the two. She equally needs Egypt and Ethiopia. So the neighborhood that is established between Egypt and Sudan is not short age, and also the neighborhood between Ethiopia and Sudan is also it's a long age. A long-lasted neighborhood. So Sudan wants to maintain that relationship with the two countries. At the same time, the benefit, Sudan still don't want to compromise on its own benefit. That is healthy. And Sudan also knows Ethiopia's stand. And, there is no major issue from the side of Sudan. But it is the pressure that comes from Egypt that's making Sudan to somehow involve in such issues. And, lately, if you heard, Sudan clearly showed its support to Ethiopia and opposed the Arab League's statement that condemns Ethiopia's stand over filling the river. So you understand even the Sudanese stand, because Sudan doesn't want to lose the relationship she has with Egypt. At the same time, she doesn't want to lose the relationship with Ethiopia. So you can understand this kind of thing. But still, Sudan can play a greater role even in bringing these two countries, I can say. Because Sudan understands Ethiopia and Sudan understands Egypt very well. So the Sudanese are in transition this time. So had the former Sudanese government been stronger and really wanted the collaboration, the previous government would have worked a lot. Even better than America, any other countries. Sudan could play a significant role in resolving this dispute, actually, because she knows very well.
The dam has been supporting by the public participation of Ethiopians only, There is no international donors here. If you have any message for the public regarding the construction of the dam or supporting the dam?
Well, for the public and fellow youths and fellow citizens, you are doing great thing. You have been supporting this dam. You have been supporting your government. It's your dam, and we love the dam, and we can't wait to see the dam inaugurated. We can't wait to celebrate the inauguration of the dam. It is our long dream. A lot of people sang about Nile, but it was not more than singing. But now the real song is coming. The real song would be after its inauguration, where everybody can get electricity, where power cut wouldn't be an issue for any Ethiopian, where investment would be everywhere, so that unemployment rate would decline dramatically, where Ethiopia can show to the world that it is capable of doing such huge projects, where Ethiopia can, lift its head and tell to the world that Ethiopia can alone, without any aid, even though there are a lot of pressures, can construct a great Renaissance dam, which is the first in Africa, and show to the world that we are capable. It is my role, it's your role, it's everybody's role. So, where is my phone? I'm going to send a message again. I usually send messages every day. And again, I will send a message after this show, after this interview, to 8100A. And frequently a day, it doesn't cost me a lot. And let Egyptians know that how we love our river, not to sink for it, but to benefit from it. We don't want to sink, but we want to swim together.
Thank you very much for coming and for having such a brilliant interview with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. It's a privilege to be on your show.
Well, viewers, that's all what you had for now. In the next week, we'll come up with another guest with another program. Nile should be a source of light, not a source of conflict. This is our message. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful week. I'm